taking the Hidden Profits course. And when she took the Hidden Profits course, this module came up on Come On Back, and it was December. So can you imagine how many people want to lose weight and stop eating cookies in December?
Exactly.
Not very many, right? So
in January, different thing, of course.
Exactly. But she was an action taker. She's like one of my perfect clients, right? Because she didn't wait for January. She said, I want to increase my sales now. She identified this Come On Back strategy as something that would work for her. And she increased her sales $3,000 in 2 weeks. That's just using amazing. This one strategy. And that for her at that time, that was a 50% increase in sales. So that was amazing. And that was at the worst time of the year, selling the worst product you could sell, selling at a time that people don't have money to spend on weight loss because they're buying Christmas presents. And she went on to make tens of thousands of dollars more in the new year. But just using that one profit, she had very quick results.
And that came from the Hidden Profits system of yours.
Yes. Yeah. And here's how I'm going to share with your listeners how they can do this, because I hate when people are like, oh, they did this, but they don't tell you how. Is that okay if I share that?
Please do.
Okay. So what I want you to do, anybody listening, is go back and make a list of your former clients that you've worked with. Now, I always put a caveat to that and say, don't list people who are not your perfect clients, because you don't want to welcome back people that were sucking all of your energy.
Yeah.
You're going to make a list of those clients, and then you're going to create an offer just for those people. So it's a special Come On Back offer. So the great thing about it is there's no cost for this, because you're not going off and, doing a trade show or doing, a Facebook marketing campaign that you're investing hundreds or thousands of dollars in. This allows you to just, pick up the phone, send an email and say, hey, this is a special offer just for people that have been my former clients. And I really suggest that people pick up the phone and call, because when you call, just here, the two of us on the phone together, there's a big difference than just getting an email from somebody. You're able to bond with people. I really suggest you script out what you're going to say. The first thing I would suggest is do some kind of intro that's building the rapport again, refer back to what they're doing, go look on their Facebook and see, hey, I see your son just, went to a soccer tournament, or I see you just got back from Europe, or I see, whatever it is that you can reconnect with them, and then let them know the reason I'm calling is because, we used to work together, and I was thinking about you, and we have this special offer just for former clients that I think would be a great fit for you, and then share what you have to offer to them.
So would you go through that process in your course, Selling with Confidence, and getting a yes without being pushy? Because the sales word is really a dirty word, and people don't like pushy sales. So do you have a process whereby you can interact with people without seeming to be pushy or desperate?
Yes. And that Selling with Confidence program, getting a yes without being pushy, came from the fact that I had been in sales since I was in 3rd grade. And I started selling B2B when I was in 5th grade. So I really had a leg up, because my dad was in sales, and he used to train us at the kitchen table to make sales. And so I never was scared of sales. I would go out there and sell. But when I shifted from selling other people's products to being in my own business and selling coaching and selling programs and selling all of these things that I was so passionate about, all of a sudden I hit that sales brick wall. Wow. And it was because, if I was selling, when I sold stationery when I was a kid, and I sold sandwiches, and I sold poinsettias, and I sold insurance and beauty products, if people said no, I felt like they were just saying no to a product, right? They weren't saying no to me. Mm-hmm. But as entrepreneurs, if we're the salesperson in our own business, a lot of times we feel really hurt, because if they're saying no to your life coaching program, it's like, wow, I poured my heart and soul into this, right? And so that's how I developed that Selling with Confidence program, because we had to make a shift of seeing selling as a positive thing.
Yes. And it can be very difficult. It can be very challenging. So you have to approach the subject with some strategies that doesn't make you sound desperate, and that's going to really appeal to the person at the end of the phone.
Right, exactly.
Like you're their friend.
Yeah, and I think the other thing in terms of the big mindset shift that I made, and this is where my breakthrough was in selling my own things, is number one, you needed to have a belief, right? You need to have a belief in what you're selling. And a lot of times it was very easy to believe in something that another company had developed, and they give you all the marketing materials and you give them all, you have this whole thing already given to you and you're like, go sell this. But when you're an entrepreneur and you've developed your own program or you've developed your own product, it's like, oh, are people going to like my taste? Are they going to like me? Am I smart enough? Am I, talented enough? All of these things.
Yeah.
So
Well,
you have
yes.
to have that belief.
If you don't believe in yourself, how can you expect anybody else to buy from you or to buy into you if you've got no belief in yourself?
Right. And so go
Oh,
ahead.
sorry. You go ahead.
Well, what I was going to say is one of my clients this week, we ran into this because they're shifting markets. So they were very successful in another market and they're moving into a different market. And, she sent me a message. My one-on-one clients have Voxer access to me so they can leave me voice messages and texts all the time. And she said, I don't know, maybe I'm going to suck at this. Nobody's going to buy this. And, that's exactly how we feel a lot of times when we start doing this. Even if it's just we've been doing it and we have a new product. And I asked her, I said, well, what would you say to one of your clients if they said that? And she laughed and said, I would tell them, like, really? Like, you're very successful at this. So one of her exercises for this week that I gave her is to look at why all of her clients are going to be so excited to invest in this program, why this program is so awesome for all of these people. And so a lot of times we have to do the inner work before we do the sales. Exactly. And really look at like why. There's a great book that I have here on my desk all the time. I use with my clients a lot, which is called Afformations with an O. Yeah, by Noah St. John. And one of the things is that with our self-talk is that we see that our self-talk is very negative. It's like, why am I so stupid? Why don't people want to buy this? Why, we're asking ourselves all these disempowering questions. And, through my work with Tony Robbins, he always says, if you want a better result, you have to ask a better question, right? So you start asking questions like, why do my clients love working with me? Why do I, sell so easily? Why do I have permission to succeed? Why do I feel confident sharing these programs with the world? So all of a sudden now our brain is answering these questions in a positive way instead of a negative way.
So normally you work with entrepreneurs who've already got a 6 and 7 figure income with your powerful marketing and sales strategies, so they can get more clients, so more profits and more time to enjoy with who and what they love. So what if someone hasn't got any contacts at all right now and they haven't got 6 or 7 figures wages coming in? So what would you suggest to help those just setting off, or those who haven't got that sort of income?
Sure. So what I would tell you is you need to go back to that perfect client. And if you don't know who that perfect client is because you don't have any yet, I would make a guesstimate. Okay. Because, the thing is that nothing is cast in stone. The wonderful thing about the internet is that you can change your website tomorrow. It's not like back when I started online that it would be like $7,000 to create a website. And then it would be like a few $100, like $700 just to change a page. You can go into your WordPress site or ClickFunnels site and just change a sentence if you want. Very easily.
People listening don't even have ClickFunnels. They wouldn't know where to start with landing pages and Infusionsoft. So there is a lot of learning to do. People can't expect to be commanding 6 and 7 figures if they haven't got the learning to do that. I've just myself been on an Infusionsoft course and it's very difficult. There's no easy fix to this. You have to do the learning. You have to put the effort in if you actually want to get the outcomes and the profits that you want.
Right. Definitely. It's funny because I had this quote that I was reviewing my notes from a conference I was at from a gentleman that passed away. And he had quoted Dr. Wayne Dyer, who had also passed away. And he said, there's no scarcity of opportunity to make a living at what you love to do. There's only a scarcity of resolve to make it happen.
That's really true. That is really
And
true.
so what I would say, for a newbie is, like I said, it's not cast in stone. Figure out who you want to work with. If it changes in 30 days, in 90 days, you just pivot, you shift.
Wow.
It doesn't have to be cast in stone, but I would get out there. One of the things I work on with my clients in my mastermind group is that they have to be doing RGAs every single day. And RGAs are revenue generating activities. One of my past coaches, who is actually in England from like 16 years ago, he used to say, don't get stuck in the BS funnel, right? And the BS funnel is when you're always like, oh, I need to do a new header for my Facebook page. I need to do a new brochure. I need to do a new this. No, you don't. You need to go out there and talk to people. You need to go out there and ask people to be a client. You need to go out there and ask for the business each and every day. And if people say no, that's how you're going to learn.
I'm sure a lot of people listening are very familiar with what you've just said. Yeah. And it's like procrastinating and self-sabotage because you're not getting yourself out there and doing what you really need to do to push yourself forward.
Mm-hmm. And so if you're a new business, I would say go out there and talk to people every single day. Mm-hmm. And, again, if you go back to the perfect clients and you ask them, if you're a coach, you ask them, like, what is it that, what are your goals? What do you want to accomplish in the next year? What's stopping you?
So your program that you've got, the Hidden Profit System, Become a Magnet, Attracting Your Perfect Clients and Selling with Confidence and Getting a Yes Without Being Pushy, are they two separate courses or are they one system?
Oh, there are 3 different systems. So I have my Hidden Profits system, which is more clients and cash.
Yeah.
And that actually, for a bonus, does have the other 2 programs included. So the other 2 programs are Selling with Confidence, Getting a Yes Without Being Pushy, and Attracting Your Perfect Clients.
And how would someone get in contact with you if they were interested in going on one of your programs?
Yeah, the best way to get in touch with me is staceyhylen.com, and that's STACEY. Hylen is HYLEN.com. And I have a little questionnaire there. I accept clients via application only right now. So you can fill out that quick application. If you don't qualify for one of the one-on-one programs, then I can refer you to whichever program I think would be the best fit for what your challenges are and what your goals are.
Okay. So you served as Vice President of Consulting and a Senior Coach at Chet Holmes and Anthony Robbins' world-renowned Business Mastery Program. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Well, Chet Holmes is kind of sometimes flying under the radar. Unfortunately, he's no longer with us. He had passed away a few years ago, and his daughter Amanda is now running the program at Chet Holmes. But he was brilliant. He was brilliant at being strategic. He was brilliant at sales. And he has a strategy called the Dream 100, which if anybody listens to ClickFunnels and Russell Brunson uses that Dream 100 strategy all the time. But I was really lucky enough to surround myself with great mentors. So when I got the chance to work with Chet, even though I had my own business, I jumped right in with both feet to be mentored by him and to work with him. So he used this Dream 100 strategy to get Tony Robbins as a business partner. He was trying to get Tony Robbins as a client, and it turns out the 2 of them merged and created Business Mastery. So that was fantastic. In fact, I traveled all over with Tony, attending his Business Mastery events. Even I went to London doing the Business Mastery, which was fantastic.
So what is the Dream 100 first before we talk about the Tony Robbins experience?
Sure. So the Dream 100 is very similar in terms of the perfect clients. You want to look at the top 20% that are getting you 80% of your business, the whales, the people that so for Chet, working with Tony Robbins as a client would be like a whale client that if he had Tony Robbins as a client, it would bring in tons of other business, right? Mm-hmm. But it would also be enough business that it would catapult his business. Chet, the way he developed this is back in the day, he was selling advertising for a magazine. And this magazine was I think there were 17 magazines in in the industry, and his magazine was number 17. So it was not good. And so what he started to do was look at, all right, here's the number 1 magazine. What are they doing differently than ours?